So hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Charlie on a Friday.
There were some questions to say about his upcoming album, Wild Child. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
I feel good, man. I think the fans are hyped. It's my first album. We're on tour right now. Seeing all the fans in person has been like such a fulfilling experience. And yeah, I'm excited to get all this music out there. We've been working on it for a long time.
Hell yeah. I saw you put up the track list like a day or so ago. Seems people are fucking amped for this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Love it.
Yeah. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, I mean the cover art is basically just like a big ass house party and I'm on the roof kicking it. And yeah, the album name Wild Child, I feel like kind of wraps up the last 2 years of my life. I mean, me and my homies have been touring all over the country. Same guys I started this journey with. Yeah, a lot of our songs are about like just having a good time, partying, getting crazy. So I think the title Wild Child is an accurate statement.
I would say so, and I think you perfectly encapsulate it with the house party cover art.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it definitely fits the vibe.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Yeah, I mean, every record's made differently. It's not always the same. Sometimes, specifically, I think writing in Nashville, it's like title first a lot of the time. So, like, yo, this song is called I Don't Want to Go Downtown. It's about this. That's the idea. Like, okay, like, let's start writing it. Somebody plays a guitar, then you kind of figure it out from there. Some songs on the project were like melody first. So you kind of just have like a melody or a sound, and then you're kind of trying to, oh, damn, like you like mumble almost and kind of just like find the melody first. Like, oh, it kind of sounds like I said this word here. Like maybe that could be interesting, or like we should put these words to that melody, and then you're kind of trying to piece the puzzle that way. But every song is it's not always made the same. So yeah.
Gotcha. Now, you mentioned a couple of different styles of writing that you did. Is there one that you like prefer in particular? Like, do you prefer the title coming first, the melody? Like, is there one in particular?
Yeah, until I really started writing in Nashville, I had never done the title first like style, and I actually really like that a lot. I don't know like which one's better necessarily, but I've become a big fan of that vibe.
Interesting. You don't feel like that puts you in a box like lyrically, like you are comfortable and confident, like basically like having the outline and then putting the lyrics to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think like a big part of like, I mean, it's Nashville, it's like country music central. I think a big part of country music is like storytelling, and I think that when you have a really, really clear vision of like the story that you want to tell, I think it actually makes it easier. I think songs get hard when you like don't really know like what really is going on. You're kind of trying to like fill it in that way. But no, I don't think it puts you in a box.
Yeah.
Obviously certain songs are meant to be super like this is about this, and like some songs you can get a little more crazy with it. Like the title track Wild Child is like very just like free song. Like we're just kind of just talking about having a good time, and you can kind of say whatever on that type of track, I feel like.
Yeah. You mentioned like, when you start having to like fill in the gaps in a song is when it starts to get tricky. So are you someone that's like, if you're in the studio to write a song, it's got to be finished that day, or are you willing to come back to a song later to kind of crack it?
Dude, absolutely not. A lot of the time I don't finish songs in the same day. I'm actually trying to like work on that. I think that might be, maybe it's not a flaw, but like definitely my like main producer Tyler definitely gets frustrated when I'm like halfway down the song. I'm like, all right, like let's start a new one. And he's like, bro, like you didn't finish the last one. But I think you always come back to something if it's really like great and you want to finish it.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. So what song off this album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
This song, the last song on the album, I'm in Seattle. I know was a really long process. And then which one was the shortest was the second question?
Your personal favorite.
Oh, personal favorite.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's like choosing your favorite kid. I think
Hmm.
81 Camino is my personal favorite, but I don't know. They all do different things. I
Yeah.
don't know. Kind of depends on the situation or like the vibe I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about I Miss Seattle and that process made it longer than some of the other songs?
Um, I don't know. I think we just had the hook of it for a while and then like came back to it a month later and did the verse on it. So I think it was just a longer process. But like that was one of the situations that I was talking about. Like if something's really like great, like you'll go back to it and you're like, I don't want to like leave this and like forget about this thing.
Mm.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Sure.
So how did the track list for the album come about? Did you write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, just shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
No, I think we just kind of just go crazy and then just figure it out, to be honest. But like everything's still like cohesive and like in the same world, I feel like there's certain times I make songs that I'm like, yo, like that can't go on this. Like maybe that's for a different time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think I always knew I wanted I Miss Seattle to be the closer of the album.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
So a lot of the track listing is just like based on the vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm also curious, like, can you give like some bookends, like starting and ending of like your start of the writing process and ending, like you were done, finished, the album was done?
The I'm in Seattle song is so old, but I think that might be like a year and a half, 2 years old, maybe. But like that was also a situation where like you can't that's the type of song like you can't put that out until it's an album situation. Like that's not like a single vibe.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean we were also working on parts of it like a month and a half ago. So I guess like a 2 year process really.
Goddamn. And you basically wrapped it up and the album's coming out.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely down to the wire. Because you're
Nice.
always like
Yeah.
in like little like oh like maybe you need like a backing vocal there, like an ad
Hmm.
lib here, like just like the little final touches on it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Makes
makes
sense.
sense.
So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
I think I was in a lot of different headspaces over the last 2 years, to be honest with you. I don't know if like pinpointing I was in this headspace the whole time. I think any human being is gonna go through a lot of highs and lows in a 2
Hmm.
year period, like no matter where you're at.
Hmm.
I think that like there's a lot of party records on here where it's like, oh, like we're up, like this is like just like we're in such a great vibe, like this song's about this. And then there's parts where it's like, damn, like I'm dealing with this thing. I'm gonna write about this thing. Like different headspaces bring different types of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was over the course of 2 years. So it makes sense. It definitely comes through in the record. There are plenty of upbeat songs and there are plenty of songs where it's like, is he okay?
And like I feel like too with me sometimes it's like I think like with my brand, sometimes I feel pressure to always be like, oh, like we're always on
Hmm.
such a good wave. And like that's just like I want to be most authentic to the fans that I can be and like really
Hmm.
open up. And like sometimes I have bad days. And like putting that on
Yeah.
the album too, I think is really, really important just to like show that.
Yeah, I respect
For
that.
sure.
Now, do you get any sort of anxiety with putting out those songs that are a little bit more personal when your brand is so like we're up, we're partying, we're having a good time? Like, do you get
Yeah.
that anxiety?
Um, honestly, I mean, it's like I think it's just impossible for someone to like always be uh so like no, I don't. I don't expect everyone to think that I'm always up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of good times and a lot of highs. So make sure to always include those also.
absolutely.
For sure.
So this
Yeah.
question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words, no more, no less.
I'm gonna say fun, true, and diverse.
There you go.
Fun, true, and diverse.
There you go.
There you
Hell
Those
go.
would
yeah.
be my three.
Perfect. All right. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging
you
or
would you would
standout
you would
moments during the
think I
creation of this
didn't.
album?
I think writing the song "I Don't Want to Go Downtown" was like really cool to me. I think it like one of those songs where like you know exactly what you want this to be and you put it together like really fast because you know like you have such a clear vision for it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The song
Uh,
was made in like an hour probably.
God damn.
Done.
Damn.
So you've
Yeah.
got
The whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
yeah.
Fuck.
So you got the songs that take an hour, the songs that take 2 years. You know, you got the whole
100%.
gamut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Damn right.
So since you're on tour, we have to ask, what's your go-to snack at a gas station or a rest stop?
Flips chocolate covered pretzels.
Oh, damn right. Yeah, like the dark
Yeah.
chocolate, milk chocolate. What are we talking about?
The milk chocolate ones for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's valid.
I've been a big fan of those since I was a kid, still a fan.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. And on the topic of food, if your project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
Flips chocolate covered pretzels. Because it has layers to it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Probably sushi.
Okay.
Well,
I wasn't gonna say flips again, I promise.
thank you.
Okay, and a drink with your sushi?
I would have honestly water. I like water.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah.
And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
The MCU universe. I love Iron Man.
That's
Yeah.
solid.
All right.
Hell yeah.
I hear-
And I've asked the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite
Mhm.
color?
Green.
Specific shade of green.
Like a forest green. I'm from Seattle.
Yeah.
Emerald City.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
The album tomorrow.
Mhm.
And we're working on a pretty cool tour vlog series. It's gonna be on YouTube. We're gonna call it WTF is on a Friday. And I think that's gonna be really, really cool too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for now. It's been Charlie on a Friday, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.